With many landlords still facing vacancy, they're continuing to drop prices, pay fees, but then they don't know what to do afterwards. So, is room rentals a good idea? Today's Property Management Pulse, I'm going to be talking about room rentals. Now let me explain what a room rental is. Instead of having your entire apartment rented out, whether it's a 2 or a 3-bedroom apartment, renting it out to an entire group, what you'll do is they'll rent it out by the room. Now you have to be very careful in the city of Boston because unless your property is zoned as a rooming house, you're not technically supposed to rent it out by the room. So what do you do in order to be able to combat that? What you'll do is potentially have everybody on a lease, and that lease also protects you. What you'll want is to make sure that everyone is jointly and severally responsible for both the rent and any utilities that they need to pay. We've seen some landlords actually pay all the utilities. We've seen other landlords pay the utilities and then split it up based upon the amount of rent that the tenant's paying of the proportion of the entire rent. And really it's up to you. Sometimes the tenant will actually just take care of it on its own. Sometimes room rentals will actually get you and garner you more money than you would have gotten if you rented out the entire apartment. I'll give you an example. In a 2-bedroom apartment, it might have been renting for $2,000, but because people are more willing to actually just rent the room, they might actually only pay $1,200 per room, which allows you to get $2,400 total, which can be a really good thing as well. Sometimes the people coming in for room rentals do want furnished, but that's not always the case. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how we professionally do room rentals and how it's different than just renting it out randomly to people. Because the hard part is actually making sure that people will connect and not have issues or have conflict when they live in the unit together. So sometimes what we do is we master lease out our apartments to some of the furnished rental companies or even the unfurnished rental companies that rent out by the room. And there's multiple companies out there from Split Spot to June Homes to Bungalow. And these are all very professional websites and companies, and what they do is they do their own qualifications of people for both money, funds, and just making sure that they're a good fit for one another. They're going to be technically responsible for the rent, which is really nice. And what sometimes they'll do is they'll do a profit sharing model. And that profit sharing model will guarantee a minimum amount of rent, and then will also allow us to benefit from the actual renting of the rooms for a higher amount as well. Of course, there's a cost involved with it, and it depends upon the company, but it is something that we do as a property management company to pre-negotiate with them these rates for at least a year to ensure that you do have income coming in. This pandemic will not last forever. What we're doing is trying to be proactive and finding ways to help you, the landlord, minimize any type of vacancy or headaches. And if it's doing it by the room is the next step, then we're gonna figure out ways to do it as professional as possible. So if you or anyone else you know is looking for a property management company that's proactive, can think outside the box to help you solve the problems that you might be having, please think of Green Ocean Property Management, where you get more than a property manager, you get peace of mind.